Hey YouTube, so I am just busy um, harvesting some sunflower seeds, and actually quite a few of these hints are probably going to be reserved for the birds for this winter. And I am making a little mess, but while I had some time on my hands, I thought I would go through my Planned Parenthood book haul. Hey YouTube, I am absolutely exhausted. I'm here at the biennial Planned Parenthood book sale, and if you have never been, when you walk in the door, the first thing you go do is pick up one of these maps. They are absolutely invaluable. Honestly, I'm surprised by how many people are here. Usually when I arrive, there is a huge line down the front of the building for people wanting to get in first, and I actually happen to be one of the first 5 or 7 people in today. It was really slow opening, but it's really packed up. Picked up since then. Let's see, I have picked up a great book on Celtic myth, a skag of books on piano, some vocal selections. Let's see, I'm totally thinking of putting this book back because I can't afford it. It's like $8. I have a really tight budget this year, and it's kind of bumming me out because it was one of the very first books on astrology I ever read back in 1997-ish, 98 maybe, somewhere around there. But I about plotzed when I was going through the cookbooks and saw this mammy jamma. So I will get online and pay for my stuff, and I will see you all later when I get home. Okay, so I was a tad bit disappointed in the... Oh, look at the dogs.
If you go way across there, you probably can't see because that car, there's probably about 6 or 7 dogs out there in that grass.
Yeah, there was a woman inside with
It's a dog expo.
a companion dog.
Is that what it is? Huh.
Well, she was inside with a companion dog. Even though there's a sign that says pets are not permitted on the fairgrounds, which is kind of strange. Anyhow, I watched an interview yesterday of the main organizer of the book sale today, and she promised us that there were 4 brand new semi trucks, excuse me, full of books today. And honestly, I was a little disappointed. Either they were completely picked over because this is the 3rd day that the book sale has been in operation, or she was exaggerating a little bit, because the New Age section, which is where I often find some of the better books, was just basically what was there last year, and nothing much to fuss over. But while I was there, I did encounter another pagan or witch, and we had an interesting conversation. She told me that Ancient Ways has moved. It's now in the Drake area. down by the Drake Diner across from the college. Yeah, you're just rolling your eyes with that.
Roll up your windows and lock your doors and carry your gun.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see, what else was I gonna say? Other than that, that is about it. Although, she also mentioned that one of the guys who used to work for Mariah in ancient ways is opening up his own apothecary in, oh, it's a little quirky, like what the Queen has. Yeah, he's doing his business. I'm not gonna film that. But, he's opening his own apothecary at the Ruby Groove, I think she said. It's what Daydreams used to be, apparently. Apparently the names of the stores in Des Moines keep changing, and I have no idea what they are anymore. So I am about ready to find out where this gem and mineral show is located. The admission is like $5, and I think I might just have enough in my pockets. I was going on a pretty tight budget this year. I only spent like $16, even though I'd calculated it was like $23 But the girl, who was running the little cash register thing, got confused, and they like ran like one of the more expensive books through. So it was like $5, and that did not get put on the ultimate tally. So I'm gonna edit that out. But I'm gonna but I basically got a book for free because of someone else's stupidity. And show you all the treasures that I got for about $20, and I'm really pleased with myself. Although, as I think I said earlier, I was really disappointed by the occult section this year because it had either been really picked over, or there just wasn't much there to be picked over. So I bought a Celtic miscellany, which has some really phenomenal tales and lore in it. It's a collection of articles, myths, legends, all Celtic source material from the medieval period. And yes, I did buy this Mamma Jamma, and I've already been through it, as you can see by the bookmark, letting me know that the next Planned Parenthood book sale is March 28th through April 1st. So I'll probably have some birthday money to spend there, if I'm not saving it for voice lessons this summer. Oh, honestly, the only recipe in here that looks like it's worth being made is these Mexican tortilla parcels. Doesn't that look yummy? Oh my god. It's got things like, well, honestly, I've heard you shouldn't cook with sunflower oil anymore because it turns carcinogenic once you cook with it. But it's got garlic, cumin, green chilies, tomato puree, vegetable stock, sweet corn, coriander leaves. Most Americans know that as cilantro. Grated cheddar cheese, tortilla shells, or flour tortilla things. And do they have ground beef? I'll have to give that a second or maybe even a third look because it looks tasty enough. So I had a bit of a score this year in terms of the music books that were being offered there. I found this great practical theory course book, which when I was originally studying music in college, I would have died to have. Because it's like once you miss one lesson, then you fall behind, and you weren't allowed to contact the instructor to see what had been covered because there were no textbooks being used back in the late 90s, at least in the music program that I was enrolled in. I found two new piano method books that I've never heard of before. Even online, when I used to search for piano method books, these never came up. But it's the John Brimhall Piano Method, books 3 and 4. Honestly, these are really, really, really good. If you're a musician who's wanting to learn the piano, I've learned more in these books than I have in studying music and theory for years. It's extremely concise. Only one lesson per concept, but it's enough to really get you started into looking for more on those concepts that these books cover. But yeah, I was really impressed. It broke down blues music. Let's see. Blues music. Starts off on a 1, then it goes on for 4 measures of 1, 2 measures of 4, 2 measures of 1 again, 2 measures of 5, then either 1 measure of 5 or 1 measure of 4, and then back to 2 measures of 1 to round it out. So yeah, I had no idea that the blues operated on that strict concept. But the largest treasure trove came in these Alfred Premier piano course books that I bought. And they are absolutely brand new. They've never been used before. So I bought Technique 3 and Lesson 3. Technique 4, Lesson 4, and apparently I have an extra copy of Lesson 4 for some reason. Technique 5 and Lesson 5, and a lot of these make for great sight reading sources, in my opinion. Theory 6, Lesson 6, and Performance 6. Apparently I had a little more money on me than I thought. Oh, and as you obviously know, I didn't make it over to the Gem and Mineral Show only because I had literally $5 on me, and I wouldn't have been able to spend anything there even if I wanted to. Besides, I watched the crowd going in and out, and they all looked like they were extremely wealthy people. I would have felt really, really uncomfortable going inside, I think. But after the book sale, I went to the Half Price bookstore and I bought just a piece of sheet music. It's My One True Friend by Bette Midler. And continuing on with the haul from the Planned Parenthood book sale, I bought... Now, don't get your hopes up. It's not as good as you think. The pages are all screwed up inside. A lot of the pages are duplicated. A lot of the pages are missing. So it's just a badly produced copy of this book. Which is probably why it was there. I mean, it's clearly never been used. The CD, of course, is missing. Probably snagged by the previous owner who wanted to rehearse with the music. Yeah, the CD's totally gone. And also from that same school of or series from Hal Leonard is the secret. I do not know why I cannot pronounce this title. The Secret Garden which I've loved the movie. I've loved the book. I sang one of the songs in college. Well, I didn't get to sing it, but I rehearsed it with my voice teacher at the time. A bit of her, so it's got a nice warm place in my heart. And ooh, yes. For a long time, I have been bemoaning that I don't have a copy of Rent in my music collection, and look what I found. Granted, it's the Easy Piano edition, which for some reason, maybe because I'm so far beyond that level, seems to trip me up. I don't know. But when I try and sight read it, it ends up tripping me up. But yeah, I've wanted a copy of this for my collection for a long time. So hoping in the future I will see a standard edition of these vocal selections. But this music it was really the influential musical of my generation of we Gen Xers. You know, anyone born in the 90s knows of Rent, or not born in the 90s, but grew up during the 90s. You know, Rent was the thing. I also bought the vocal selections to Chess, which is another musical that I really love, especially because of that great duet. I know him so well. But I was looking through the selections, and there are actually quite a few songs here that I have never heard of, and I've owned one or two different, and even heard a third concept album for this musical, and some of these songs are not on it, such as Moreno, Mountain Duet. And that's about it. It looks like just two extra songs I have never heard of. And this edition is from 1984 and 1986. So that's kind of cool that I got two songs I've never heard of for that show. And finally, I got a bunch of old vocal selections for a bunch of classic musicals. Flower Drum Song. And it is in pretty great condition. West Side Story, always a classic. The King and I would love to see Julie Andrews in the movie she made for The King and I. I've never seen it yet. Oh, and for some reason I have two copies of South Pacific. This one is clearly the better edition. Let's see, when was this published? 49? Does not seem right. And it is not telling me when it was actually physically published, which is the bad thing about sheet music. It often tells you when the original copyright was produced, but not when the physical copy was published. And I don't know about you, but Hammerstein and Rogers must have huge hands, because I have no idea how they play some of those huge intervals in their music. It's just crazy. So that is my book haul. I hope you liked it, and I will see you next time, my witches. So until then, keep calm and twitch on. Thanks.